Thank you, Honorable Minister for Information for the Sector, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah. All of you have virtually been introduced, so let me stand on that protocol so that we save time. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, let me say good afternoon to all of you. I have been given virtually an hour by the Honorable Minister to go through the presentation, and thereafter, perhaps another hour for questioning time. Kojo, I don't know whether you do so for everybody or otherwise. I say that you have not been fair to me because, road sector is different, and if you were to give me the opportunity to talk about the road sector, what has been done under President Akufo-Addo's government, if you are giving me something around 10 hours. But there's a lot to talk about. But I have to comply, with the rules. So I will try as much as possible to work within the 1 hour period given to me. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, anytime I get this unique opportunity to talk about the road sector on behalf of the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, those of you who have been following me, and I know the press is critical and they have been following me wherever I go, I am fond of giving the basic statistics of the road sector. And I'm going to do so in a jiffy. Because it's important to remind ourselves, it is important to know where we are coming from before we can appreciate what has been done so that it could be put in a proper context. Members of the press, let me once more say that Ghana has a total road network size of 78,400 kilometers. That is, if you put all roads in our country together, trunk roads being managed by the Ghana Highway Authority, city roads being managed by the Department of Urban Roads, and rural roads being managed by the Department of Feeder Roads. In terms of length, if you put all of them together, we are dealing, as at January 7, 2017, something in the region of 78,400 kilometers. Out of this total kilometrage, ladies and gentlemen, 23, as at that time, had been paved. That's 23% had been paved, which runs up to something around 18,000 kilometers. The remaining 77% continue to be at either earth or gravel state, also working around something like 60,000 kilometers. The engineers will tell you about condition of road, and I've had opportunity to work with them, the seasoned engineers that we have in our country and my ministry. I keep on learning from them each day. Condition of road is divided into 3 categories. Road is either good, fair, or poor. And as at that date, 7th January 2017, 39% of Ghanaian roads were considered to be good. 39%. 32% considered to be fair, and 29% considered to be poor. In terms of kilometrage, if you put them together, the 39% considered to be poor represents something around 30,500 kilometers. And if you combine fair and poor, as they are almost alike. We are talking about something close to 50,000 kilometers. That is to about 48, close to 50,000 kilometers. So the simple information is that more or around half, 50% of our roads, of the total kilometers, as aforementioned, of 78,400 kilometers, was considered to be in a terrible, poor, deteriorated state. These were the stark data, the stark statistics, the state of the road in Ghana that had been handed over to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And as a country, going by these statistics, 60 or 64 years of independence, if we had done well for ourselves, the people of this country are better judges. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I want to start my formal presentation by giving you the outline. I believe it's showing on the screen. Three major processes: introduction, then I will give you the major highlights between 2021 and 2024, and be referring to what had been done between 2017 and 2020. And under the major highlights, I will be dealing with the three broad categories of the road sector. That is the road program, that's the road itself, the bridges program, and the interchange program. And I will also take the opportunity before concluding to talk about the projects that are in the pipeline between now and 2024, which will mark the end of President Akufo-Addo's second term. Members of the press, my ministry works through departments and agencies. And the number 5: 1, Ghana Highway Authority; 2, Department of Federal Roads; 3, Department of Urban Roads; 4, Ghana Road Fund Secretariat; and 5, Training Center located at Koforidua, which trains our engineers and contractors, employees, and so on. We undertake development and maintenance activities generally. These are the core areas of the ministry, and whatever road infrastructure that is being worked on will fall under one of these three main categories. It may be developmental, or it may be routine maintenance or periodic maintenance. And if you talk about developmental activities, we are talking about construction of roads. It could be new, fresh road that is being constructed. It could be reconstruction, an existing road that we want to improve. Sometimes it could be a feeder road and we want to improve upon it. And then major rehabilitation of our roads. This will also be an existing road that we want to improve significantly and do major activities on them. Apart from that, maintenance is a regular feature of our work. It goes on from January to December. It's in progress. We do routine maintenance, and routine maintenance activities cover things like pothole patching, grading, desilting, vegetation control, and maintenance of traffic lights. We keep close eye on the entire road sector when it comes to maintenance activities, because this would make the road motorable, particularly as we approach and pass through rainy season. The roads will have to be desilted. We have to patch potholes, and we have to maintain vegetation cover by cutting it, the vegetation that abut the roads. And then we do a more serious maintenance work that we term periodic maintenance activities, and this involves resealing. This involves graveling. Resealing, you could have a major road that has developed also major potholes. We will take steps to patch the potholes and then spread another bitumen on it, or even an overlay on it. We do regraveling, we do asphaltic overlay, we do spot improvement. If you are running on any highway, you could come to a section that might have failed. The entire stretch of the road is good, but a section might have failed due to a number of reasons. The engineers will tell you either there is a material underneath, or perhaps hidden water underneath, and you may see whilst driving that a section is demarcated, cut off, and being worked on. At times, some of these spot improvements and involve serious works to make sure that it's worked on for you to get smooth driving surface for the sake of homogeneity and uniformity on the road surface. We do partial reconstruction, upgrading, and minor rehabilitation. Let me quickly talk about the achievements made in the area of routine maintenance from 2017 up to 2020, the first term, and we have been generous enough because we are always up to date. My ministry is always up to date. So we have even included some figures for 2021. So you can see that generally we did a total of 130,671 kilometers of routine maintenance. And the figures are there for you to see what the agencies did. Department of Urban Roads did a little over 18,000. Department of Feeder Roads did a little, almost 50,000. And Ghana Highway Authority on our highways did almost 61,000 kilometers, adding up to 131,000 kilometers. That's by way of routine maintenance. Periodic maintenance, we did a total of 3,476 kilometers for same period. So from these two statistics, you can see how the government has kept close eye on the road sector, and work had continued throughout the first 4 years of President Akufo-Addo's government, COVID notwithstanding. Despite the COVID period of 2020 last year, that affected the whole world and affected every sector of every country's economy. I am happy to announce that because of the importance the government attaches to the road sector under the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, construction continued generally, and the road sector construction never stopped, even during the COVID period. That is a serious government for you, a serious government under a serious leadership, a serious president of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I now want to take the major highlights, the programs that we are focusing on all this while. And I have said that the road sector essentially involves three main components, three main areas, three main categories: the road infrastructure, the bridges infrastructure, and the interchanges. We have programmed to do between 2021 and 2024 11,000 kilometers of road, out of which we are convinced and we are hopeful and we are confident that 6,000 would have seen total completion, and the remaining 4,000 would have been at different stages of completion, some of them substantial completion by 2024. This is the program for the road sector that has been put forward by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa's government. And let me remind you that between 2017 and 2020, we had done and completed 4,000 kilometers of road. If you come to bridges, we have programmed 200 bridges across the nation, and we have the statistics for each one of them. We have their age portfolios, we have their lengths, their width, and we know what is supposed to be done in each of these 200 bridges. We have tasked ourselves to complete at least minimum 120 out of these 200 by 2024. At least 120, together with the 50 that had been completed during the first term. Between 2017 and 2020, the ministry and the government completed 50 projects, some of them major, around the length and breadth of our country. And as programmed, we intend to do 200, and all these 200 will be started, but we will bring to full completion 120. So the 120 plus the 50 already completed, President Akufo-Addo would have completed 170 bridges across the country minimum, whilst the rest, as aforementioned, would have been at different stages of completion. You come to major highlights again, and we talk about interchanges. As at now, and during President Akufo-Addo's first term, as many as 9 interchanges took off simultaneously. 3-4 of them have gotten to substantial completion stage, and God willing, first week in July, His Excellency the President will officially commission the Pokuase interchange. It would have been brought to a total full completion. And this is a project that's got started from the scratch, from the very scratch, by President Akufo-Addo's government. And this is an interchange which is the first of its kind in West Africa. And the first, if you talk about the whole Africa, the second after the interchange at Durban in South Africa. Kote interchange in Durban, South Africa. This interchange will be open in full to traffic. Now we have started opening some sessions to traffic, but it will be open in full to traffic by the first week of July, when it's scheduled to be commissioned by His Excellency the President. So 9 interchanges during President Akufo-Addo's first term are running concurrently, and none of them has stalled and will not stall until it's completed. By the end of his second term, 20 interchanges in our country would have been built. We have estimated 25, but we are convinced and we are sure and we know what we are about because we have programmed whatever we are doing. 20 interchanges. The members of the press, mark me down. Say by 2024, 20 interchanges are likely to have been fully completed. But we would have had and would have tackled as many as 25 interchanges in our country. This had never happened in any administration in our country since independence 64 years ago. This is a government that is focused. This is a government that knows what he is about. Members of the press, all the interchanges, the list, and all the rules I'm talking about, we have them. At the end of my presentation and at the end of the session, my chief director will make all these pieces of information available to you, and you can continue to critique it even after this session. We will give you the information. I will not refer you to go and see any book anywhere. So from the information and the document that I give to you, you are to ask questions. And I know we are running live. And any town that I mention, any information that I put up, if it's not true, anybody could call in for you to ask questions. And may God forbid that I will come and stand here representing His Excellency the President and the government to tell the good people of this country any story which is not true. May God forbid. I am taking the programs one by one, and the programs are listed. We have critical roads. Can you throw the... We have critical roads. We have cocoa roads. I am dealing first with the road program. I've told you I'll be dealing with the road program, then I'll be dealing with the bridges program, I'll be dealing with the interchanges program. I'm dealing with the road program. I want to be systematic so that you get the flow of the presentation. And the road program, I'll be talking about critical roads, I'll be talking about cocoa roads, town roads, asphaltic overlay, roads under Sano Hydro, donor programs, roads that come under other projects. And as listed, I will follow that chronology, so that you also follow me. I will take first the critical roads. We have done, as part of government year of roads, particularly 2020, we selected across all the 16 regions of our country 81 roads, totaling 2,167 kilometers. And when we did the costing, it will come to the region of 7.8 billion Ghana cedis. It touches every region. And the President declared a special session during the cabinet retreat where all regional ministers were invited. And that special session was chaired by no less a person than the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, an efficient, strong, intelligent Deputy Minister that we have in our country. He chaired it, and we picked critical roles from all the 16 regions of our country. You see how balanced our government is, and how we want to touch every sector, every region, and how we want to carry the entire country along with us without discrimination. And I have the list of all these critical roles. And as I have said, it will be given to you, members of the press, to interrogate. And the list is here. I'm showing you the list. All the 81 critical roles, they are here. Because I know I am telling you the truth. I am bold to provide prima facie evidence of whatever I say. It's here, and it will be given to you. And of course, for the sake of this presentation and the time limitation, I cannot go through all of them. But I have done something. I have listed some of the roles, and you can see that I have indicated against them region, length, and progress. This was done randomly. We picked them to assure you that every single region is covered. So you can run them. Critical roles. We have upgrading of Navrongo to Naga Road, and I've given the kilometerage over there, about 35 kilometers in the Upper East. Upper West, upgrading of Wa Bolinga Yala Road. We have upgrading of Daboya Mankaligo Road. Bruno region, we have rehabilitation of Atebubu Kwame Dansu Road. Ashanti, we are doing upgrading of Anyuan Kwanta Obuasi Road. Eastern, we are reconstructing Osim Begro Road. It's at substantial completion, 95% completion. It's left with few things to be done, road furniture to be provided, and then we take over. Volta region, we are doing upgrading of Korokwati Road. Uti region, we are doing Nkonya Rampong, Kwame Krom Road, and so on. Western region, we are doing Teleku Bokaso to Nyinasi Road. Ahafo, we are doing Akrodie Sariresu Road, covering 20 kilometers. And western of, we are doing Sehuyoso Akontombra Road. It continues, but like I said, lack of time, so I can't go through all of them. 2, let's look at Cocoa Rose. Under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, 325 projects are currently ongoing simultaneously across cocoa growing areas in our country. This, by the time they are completed, we would have done almost 5,000 kilometers of road at a total cost of 14.5 billion Ghana cedis. And as I treated it in the case of critical roads, I have listed some of the cocoa roads across the country. But here, let me say that you may not find all the regions here, because you know the purpose and the rationale of the Cocoa Road project is being paid for by Cocoa Board and the Ministry of Agriculture. And it is their contribution to our country, and to say thank you to the farmers and the people at the cocoa, coffee growing areas. And of course, they have interest They have interest, and you can't take it away from them. They want to work on those roads so that they'll be able to cut their cocoa. But whatever it is, they are helping the development of the road infrastructure in our country. So we also balance the road needs of our country. So if there are no cocoa in certain areas, but where we have them, Cocoa Board is helping, then it frees some resources also to go to other areas so that we make sure that road development achieves equity so far as our country is concerned. And we have a government that believes in equity. We have government that believes in equality. We have a government that believes in rule of law and believes in the fact that national resources must be shared equitably among the good people of this country. It wasn't so some time ago, but anytime our tradition is in government, we ensure equity and fair distribution of the national cake. And we will continue to do that. And the president will continue to do that. So you see some of the roads. I've given you the regions where they are. I have even given the road projects, the names of the road projects, the length and the percentage completion. You may find 1 or 2, 3 that have achieved 100% completion, but they are here. For instance, on slide 22, you may find Dodo Kope to Bolai Junction. It's completed 100%, but it's here. What it means is that it has not been handed over to the ministry, and for that matter, government. Then, once it's still in the hands of the contractor, the contractor also continues to bear the defect liability effect. And we also have the defect notification opportunity should anything go wrong on the road. Once we take it over, and it used to be 12 months defect liability period. Thereafter, government bears total liability for maintenance. Since last year, instruction and directive had been given that all contractors will bear 5-year defect liability period. And I've given that specific instruction on behalf of President Akufo-Addo and on behalf of government, because that is the standard of the World Bank. So that if you're a contractor, and I've said it elsewhere and I'm repeating it, so if you're a contractor and you don't construct the road by specification, and you do shoddy work, and I can tell you we have a number of excellent contractors in our country, comparable to any contractors anywhere in the world. But at the same time, I can't stand here as the sector minister that all contractors are good. I can't say so. So now we are moving it to 5 years defect liability period, because the 12-month defect liability, as it had existed all this while, gave a lot of people to slip through, because road, however poorly constructed, is likely to withstand whatever shock within 12 months. Then thereafter, government will be saddled with maintenance till their kingdom comes. We are changing it. That trend is changed. You construct road as a contractor, you keep it for 5 years. So if you do poor work, it will be on your head for 5 years. I move to town roads. We are working on 88 different lots, and the lots represent projects of town roads across the country, giving us 563.3 kilometers with a total cost of a little around 1 billion Ghana cedis. Some of them have been completed. For instance, if you start from the north, Gambaga town roads have been completed. Narelugu town roads have been completed. Waliwali town roads have been completed. Upgrading of Pistia town roads at a very high percentage, 85%. I don't know, perhaps my engineers will allow me to say it's at a substantial completion stage. I don't know. But anytime, anything from 85, 90, 95, that's how they describe it. So you can run through them. We are doing a lot of town roads across the length and breadth of our country. But again, let me repeat, you should bear in mind, it's not possible to list all these projects here. But we have them in the write-up. Here, we have just selected some of the roads. Okre town roads, we have gotten to 97% completion. Atebubu town roads, 55%. Bekwai town roads, 83%. Bibiani town roads, 75%. And so on. So we are dealing with a lot of town roads in our country. I move on to asphalt overlay. The government of President Akufo-Addo did 1,300 kilometers of asphalt overlay across the nation during his first term. 1,300 kilometers. And it has programmed to do even more, 1,500 kilometers between now and 2024. So, by the end of President Akufo-Addo's 8-year term, he would have done asphalt overlay close to 3,000 kilometers in our country, unprecedented, never seen in the history of this country. These are some of the pictures. So, all doubting Thomases. These are some of the pictures. And we have the list of the asphalt overlays done in our country. The 1,300 kilometers, I said it on the floor of Parliament, and some people wanted me to break it down to show them the evidence and to lay it on the floor of Parliament. I didn't even go to my office. I picked a phone and called, and they brought it to me, and I laid it on the floor of Parliament. What had been done, may God forbid that I represent the president and the government to tell Ghanaians what is not true. May God forbid. First time, we did 1,300 kilometers of asphalt overlay, and the members of the press, I know you are critical, and you have to be critical. You have to take members of government on. Whatever anybody says, take us on. And we are not afraid, because we know we tell the good people of this country nothing but the truth. I will give you the full list, that total 1,300 kilometers. And after that, I will give you the list for the program that we have, which, God willing, and inshallah, by 2024, we are going to add another 1,500 kilometers of asphalt overlay. So those who haven't gotten their turn, they should have patience with us. one thing after the other. Chinese proverb, a distance of 1,000 kilometers starts with a step. It's unreasonable. It will be unreasonable for anybody to think that all these roads could be done simultaneously. Within 3 years, all these roads, the statistics that I have given, that 3 years a government will be able to work on a total road network size of 78,400 kilometers within 3 years. That would be unreasonable on the part of anybody who thinks that way. And I know Ghanaians are reasonable, intelligent, sensible, rational people. So they understand. They know where we are coming from and what we are doing. President has said it a number of times, or time without number, that since 2017, anywhere he had the opportunity to visit, the first demand that was made on him, either from chiefs, traditional authorities, even school heads, even church leaders, everywhere, will be on roads. And if roads in this country had been fixed by successive governments in a serious, robust manner, as President Akufo-Addo has tackled it from independence 64 years ago, Ghana wouldn't have been in this state. We are focused, we have programs, we have plans, and my ministry, for that matter, government, will not be intimidated to shift from the programs that we have. I appeal to the good people of this country that they should see, and they have seen it, what is being done, the way the road sector is being tackled with courage and with seriousness. And those who haven't had their turn, very soon they will get their turn. Nobody has ever said, nobody from government has ever stood anywhere and said that all roads have been done in our country. No, nobody can say that. Neither has anybody said that we don't have bad roads in our country. We have bad roads in our country. I travel with His Excellency, the President, on a road to Hamile, a terrible road. And when we got to Hamile, on the platform, on the stage, I was privileged to sit next to him. And Ghanaians are listening to me. And I've already said that, may God forbid that I, Kwesi Amwakwata, drops anything from my lips. That is not true. I'm a Presbyterian. I'm a strong, proud Presbyterian. And I know what Presbyterian means to me. I'm a Presbyterian. On the platform, after driving on the Hamile Road, terrible road, when we sat down, President beckoned to me and said, "Minister, did you see the road we traveled on, the towns, and the condition of the people?" I said, "Yes, Mr. President." He said, "When I was in my car, I felt like weeping." He said he felt like weeping when we were driving on that road. This is the President of the Republic. He said, that is why anywhere we go, I don't want to go with a helicopter. I want to experience and I want to drive on the roads. The President of the Republic was saying, I felt like weeping. I am directing you to work on that road. He said he felt like weeping, President of the Republic. Today, my engineers are here. That road to Hamele is done and brought to bituminous level. It was done by one of our best contractors in Upper West, Ganem. PW Ganem. Today, go and see that road. One after the other, all roads in Ghana will be fixed. But it will be unquestionable, it will be unreasonable for anybody to think that all roads could be done simultaneously at the same time. One after the other, roads will be fixed in this country. And we are on course. And we are fixing the roads robustly. And we are fixing quality roads for this country. Gone were the days that people were doing shoddy work. We were using Ghanaian money to pay them. Today, it cannot happen. And under the watch of the government, under my watch, if any road is found to be shoddily done and certified by an engineer, both the contractor and the engineer will be taken on. And all my engineers are here. I respect each one of them, but I'm not afraid of any one of them. I respect each contractor in this country, and I am not afraid of any contractor in this country. And I have the moral courage to deal with any contractor and to deal with any engineer who delivers and supervises shoddy work for the good people of this country. And they know it. I tell them every day. And I have the moral courage to deal with each one of them. I want to assure the people of this country that road construction is going on strongly, systematically, and robustly. They should therefore ignore those who, because of political propaganda, are trying to talk about roads. I've said that if roads were tackled in a serious manner, as President Akufo-Addo is doing it now, Ghana would have finished constructing all roads. But else, what will be left will be the regular, routine, periodic maintenance. Again, under the Sano Hydro Master Project Facility, we are constructing road infrastructure, and we have first phase, second phase. And I believe every Ghanaian, even every child of this country, has heard of this Sano Hydro facility being championed by the government under the strong professional leadership of the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. This is a project that brought in $2 billion United States dollars to build infrastructure in our country for an exchange of bauxite in the future. This is great innovation, great thinking. That is why all the time people should vote for big dreamers and big thinkers. This has never happened anywhere, not only in our country, it has never been heard of anywhere in Africa, but it happened under President Akufo-Addo's government and being championed by our illustrious son of this country, the Vice President, who is always together with the President and the government thinking around the box. And even if we come out with suggestions and ideas, you get people who will tell you that it won't work. We have had 500 million out of this, and 10 lots, the first 10 lots have been approved, and some have started. 4 of such projects are at various stages of completion. For instance, under the Lot 1, made up of 10 different projects, the Western and Cape Coast Inner City roads have gotten to 60%. Ashanti and Western Feeder Roads, 36%. Rehabilitation of Jasikan to Dodo Pepesu, 35%. And Sunyani Inner City Roads have also started 5%. And as part of this first lot, we have the Tamale interchange and the Takrady interchanges. By the time we finish, we would have covered 441 kilometers of road. And the Tamale interchange has gotten to a very high level percentage of completion. The remaining 6 projects will be started before Q3. That is Accra Inner City Roads, Kumasi Inner City Roads, dualization of Adenta Dodowa Road, and then rehabilitation of Ejumako to Afrensier Road. Other donor facilities, we are doing a number of projects. We are doing 3 lots in Upper West region, and sod was cut, I think 2 weeks ago. I had the privilege of representing the president to cut the sod together with the representatives, country representatives of World Bank and the European Union of this project, where we are going to work on 670 kilometers of feeder roads and farm tracks in Upper West region to boost agriculture. I think this will cost a total of something around 35 million euros, 35 million euros, and is being championed by the Department of Urban Feeder Roads. And the Feeder Roads director is right here. Bernard Bedu is here, and they were all with me in Wa. The money is there, so this work will not stop, and it's going to boost agriculture. So I'll be working closely on it with my colleague, Minister for Agriculture, to ensure that it reaches completion. There are other donor projects, major ones, that are going on, like Kumasi Road and Drainage Extension Project, that's gotten to 69% completion. Rehabilitation of Asin Fosu, Asin Prasu. This is a grant covering a distance of 31 kilometers, a grant from the government and people of Japan through JICA. It's been undertaken by Sumuzi Construction. Sumuzi, that is the company that constructed the first phase of the Tema motorway roundabout. Efficient company, and they are on site as we speak now. Work is going on, and in a week's time from now, I'll have the privilege to visit them with my technical people. Work is going on everywhere in this country. So people should open their eyes and follow us and watch. President Akufo-Addo started fixing roads in Ghana in a very strong manner from 2017. So at times it's ridiculous that you hear somebody saying, we are in 2021, fix roads. You are far behind. You are years and months behind. Those people should double up and follow us and know where we are. We have left them behind. When roads were being fixed from January 2017, with speed, but without sacrificing quality. Hey, 4 or 5 years on, we should fix roads. You are late. You are far behind. Get up and run and catch up with us, because we have gone far. There are other developmental projects. Sorry. And the government has secured funding for the following projects: dualization of Tema Akosombo, covering a distance of 65 4 kilometers. And as we speak now, the contractor is on site working in ZAG construction. Dualization of Tema Aflao, a distance of 17 kilometers with 4 to 5 different interchanges. And it will go beyond the Central University location. The first 17 kilometers are being dualized and it's being undertaken by a company called BHM, a British company. They are on site as we speak now and they are working. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And they are working, and by the time they finish this project, the current traffic congestion that we experience there will be a thing of the past. But it's a very important stretch, and there is a program to dualize it up to Aflao. It's part of the dualization program. And even more so with the location of the Central University, Center of Academic Excellence. That place, anytime they are doing graduation or any function there, nobody can access the road. And with our government, we don't joke with education because it's education that builds knowledge. We have to free that stretch of road of congestion. I have therefore directed the contractor, BHM, and I visited them about 2.5 weeks ago, to work at the POM intersection as quickly as practicable to enable traffic flow on that road. The La Beach Road completion project is also ongoing. It's being undertaken by 2 different contractors, and it starts from the Independence Square. It starts from the Independence Square all the way to Tema, to join the Tema dual carriage at the new port expansion. And there is an interchange at the Nungwa barrier. It's a dual carriage, and work is going on. Also, we have secured a Kuwaiti funding to do Domi Kitasi Road. Greater part of it will even be dualized with street lighting, and there too we have another, important institution on that road, the university, the Ashasi University, another great center of learning, center of excellence, and that road must be done. On the other hand, it will serve as an alternative route to Peduasi, to all those who are traveling to Ekwapim area and who may even want to continue to Kumasi and the north through Koforidua. So these are important roads that are being worked on, and pretty soon work will start on that road because the Kuwaiti funding has been secured. And so on. There are a number of roads, dualization of Sekondi and Adembra roads, reconstruction of Teshi Link Road is now at 85% completion, and this is a road that I would credit to Honorable Okoboy. When he was the MP, he fought day and night for this road and other roads to be done. I wish I had the powers, but I don't have. This road should even be named after Honorable Okoboy, because he has worked tirelessly and has brought it to 85% completion. We must see what people have done and reward them appropriately. We are also doing a number of roads under the Oil and Gas Enclave program, and it's being sponsored by the Ghana Gas Project. And A number of projects are being done, covering a total of 87 kilometers, all in the western region. We are doing roads from Esiama, that is Esiama Nkrofo Road. Then we are doing Nkrofo town roads. And Nkrofo, those of you and journalists, you know, Nkrofo rings a bell. That is the hometown of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And over 64 years after independence, Nkrofo roads had not been done by any government. Today, the government of President Akufo-Addo is doing Nkrofo roads and is doing Nkrofo town roads. And Nkrofo town roads has been directed, the Department of Urban Roads has been directed to asphalt Nkrofo town roads. That is the hometown of our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. As many as 87 kilometers of roads are being done under the Ghana Gas Project. GNPC, and all these roads have gotten to 90% completion stage, substantial completion. Under JNPC, we are also constructing a number of roads, and it will work out almost 200 kilometers of roads, and the beneficiary areas include telekinesis to Saman Eniba, Telekubokazo to Asesetre Enyinasi, then Asesetre Enyinasi to Ekropon to Jampre, then Santaso to Asumasi Baseka. All these roads covering 200 kilometers have started and are ongoing. We are also constructing concrete roads, and this is an example of it. We started from Tema, and we specifically selected Tema because we wanted to test the robustness of the concrete construction. You know, the one major concrete construction road in our country is that of the 19.5 kilometer stretch between Tema and Accra, referred to as Accra-Tema motorway, constructed in the 60s, mid-60s by our first president. That is the one main concrete road that we have. And this second one under President Akufo-Addo's government is being done, and once more is being championed by our dynamic, indefatigable Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He cut the sword for this project, and we have been monitoring it on behalf of the President and the government of Ghana. It's being constructed by one of the great contractors in our country, Joshua Construction. He specifically imported this machine. He acquired this machine specifically for this project. And perhaps it's the only one in the country now. But there are other strong, hard-working contractors of our nation who are prepared to go into concrete road construction. So we are using this as a pilot scheme. This is in Tema, the Steelworks area. Those of you who live in Tema, you have seen it. He has done a lot of good work, and the first phase, covering a distance of 4.2 kilometers, is being brought to an end and will be commissioned. Then it will encourage us to look at other areas. This is expected to cost at 35.9 million Ghana cedis. There are other road programs. This is being done in Accra, some areas dualization, some asphalted, is being undertaken by one of our young engineer contractors. There are some young contractors who are so dynamic, hardworking, who are coming up, and I'm happy the engineers are giving them all the support to develop them, because there must be succession planning. And this one is being done by Oswald Investment. Very young, enterprising, hardworking contractor, and I salute him and people like him and all those who work hard and work well and do not cut corners to cheat the people of this country will have my support, and will have the support of the president, and will have the support of government. Anybody who does the opposite will not be tolerated. This is the handiwork of Oswald Investments. And there are a number of them like that going on. Because of time, let me move fast. Bridges. Let's move on to bridges. I have finished the road bridges. I've said that we did 50 bridges during President Akufo-Addo's first term, and the second term we have programmed and scheduled 200, out of which we are confident that 120 will be completed during the second term, whilst the remaining 80 of the 200 will be at various levels of completion, so that by 7th January 2025, God willing, if President Akufo-Addo is handing over the baton to an MPP president, inshallah, the road sector, we could boast of doing 50 plus 250 bridges in the road sector alone. And I've listed them, some of them major bridges. Let me point out 2 or 3. Volivo Bridge is being put on the Volta River at around Esutari. Volivo Bridge will also serve as an alternative bridge to Adomi. And the people of this country can recall that anytime the Adomi Bridge develops any problem, our brothers and sisters in the Volta region and all those who travel to the eastern side, go through terrible time. Some sleep at Adomi area for days, if not weeks, before they are able to cross the river. So we are working on this. The funding is secured. The government and people of Japan is giving us the funding. It's secured, I can assure you, but they were awaiting the construction of the roads leading to the area, and that one too we have secured funding. So that bridge will be fixed very soon. Then Adoso Echi Amanfrom Bridge, that will cross to Afram Prince, is also being worked on and is going to be fixed. Bupe, Yape, Daboya bridges, we have secured the funding, and the contractor, Kores Gawao, has started the Bupe, Yape bridges. They are building 2 new bridges. These bridges were built in the mid-60s. They are long-span bridges, which we have to change them now. And we are also building the Daboya one in addition. So the 3 bridges are going on concurrently, simultaneously. because should anything happen to either Bupe or Yape, because both of them lie within the Central Corridor Road, the Daboya one will be used as an alternative bridge. A number of bridges have been completed. GHA alone, and the Chief Executive Baba Kasim is here, GHA alone has completed as many as 20 bridges. So a number of bridges from the point, those in red, downwards, and you can roll it over. The next two slides. These are some of the bridges that have been built. And these bridges are in Ghana. They are in Ghana. Don't think that they are. These are bridges in Ghana, built in Ghana during President Akufo-Addo's time. Some are Spanish bridges. Some are Czech bridges. We can show more and more. Show them more. We have built all these bridges in Ghana within a period of 3.5 years. And as many as 50 bridges have been completed. This is a serious government under a serious president. We have built a number of footbridges. Let me go on to interchanges. Because my time is almost up. I've seen the way Kojo has been eyeing me. But except that he told me, except that I am his papa, so I have that privilege. He can't control me. So. But I won't create problems for him. Interchanges, I have told you, 9 of them are going on concurrently as we speak now in the country. $25 have been earmarked, and we hope to finish 20 before the end of President Akufo-Addo's term. And all the interchanges have been listed, and we have gone far. The last 9 are in the construction stage. They are going on concurrently. And show the people of this country some of the interchanges. This is when President Obichebi Lamte, President Akufo-Addo was cutting the sod. We have finished the phase 1. They are building the phase 2, and the phase 2 has commenced. I believe you travel through Obichebi Lamte Circle. Any major project started by President Akufo-Addo is going on. It has not been stopped because there have been proper planning. We don't do things anyhow, as some people did. We do things properly. So whatever we start, God willing, inshallah, we'll see completion. No major project under our government will get stopped, God willing. This Pokwasi interchange that I've told you, first week in July, President Akufo-Addo will be commissioning it. And the members of the press, I invite all of you in advance. These are all in Ghana. It's in Ghana. We are not showing pictures from some jurisdictions. It's within our jurisdiction in Ghana, under a serious government, a serious president, serious leadership. Let me conclude. I know people want me to conclude. Let me conclude by saying that I wish Kojo had given me 10 hours, because I can speak for 10 hours on the road sector. and I will have a story to tell on behalf of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So the people of this country, I want to assure you that the president is focused and the government will not be intimidated and the government will not be pushed unnecessarily, even though we expect and we welcome good suggestions from good people so that we all carry the country together. All those who have good ideas that will promote this country should come forward, and we are prepared to work together. The road sector is huge, but it has been tackled robustly, and I want to assure the people of this country that with that dynamism and with the focus on that sector, by the end of President Akufo-Addo's 8-year term, the road infrastructure in our country would have changed significantly, would have changed for the better, and would have ensured quality infrastructure for our country now and going forward. I salute all contractors. Let me end on the note that they have done a yeoman's work. Payment had not been the best. We admit contractors have done a lot of work. They have played their role well. They have kept faith with government, and government will not take them for granted. Government so far has paid about 10 billion to contractors, and we started from behind. We started paying for IPCs, interim payment certificates, from as far back as 2011. When we came to office in 2017, there were IPCs from 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. We started paying from there because road construction is always in progress. If, may God forbid, our government had not succeeded itself, there would have been also some IPCs that the next government will have to deal with. So we are dealing with them. That's why the president declared 2021 another year of road and has directed all his infrastructure ministers not to add on now and to concentrate on clearing all outstanding debts. I salute all contractors for their sacrificial job, and I want to assure them that we are working hard to clear all their outstanding debts as much as possible. And the problem that we had with COVID, despite that, we are planning to pay them. I thank you very much.